This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
You know, it's kind of funny, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who's noticed this, but when you watch platforms like, well, there's quite a few, but I suppose one of them that spring to mind would be TalkSport with Simon Jordan, Gareth A. Davis, Spencer Oliver, Adam Catterall, and so forth and so on, Jim White, and there always seems to be a level of expectancy when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Every time he fights lately, well, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, he's got to look good, he's got to perform, he's got to outbox him, and he's going to have to knock him out in devastating fashion. But they don't do it with other fighters. It's only Anthony Joshua that they do it with. Well, suddenly, they're all psychologists when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Like many boxing fans, right, and many people in boxing, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, everyone's a psychologist. But they're not a psychologist when it comes to other fighters. But they are with Anthony Joshua. Why? Because he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. I'm sorry, didn't he beat him in the rematch? Didn't he? Now, granted, okay, he's not the aggressive fighter that he once was, but when he was aggressive and had very little defence, people were saying how he's got no defence and he's going to get found wanting at some point. He needs to sharpen up that defence. Well, now he's sharpening up that defence. Now he's lost the aggression. I mean, you can't win, can you? You can't win. When Anthony Joshua fought Alexander Usyk in the rematch, well, you know what? He's got to put it on him. He's got to send a statement. He's got to knock him out. When he fought Jermaine Franklin, he's got to put in a performance of a lifetime here. He's going to have to dominate him and knock him out. Now he's fighting Dillian White. Well, now he's going to have to put on a performance and knock him out and send a message to Deontay Wilder and whatever else. But they don't hold that same energy when it comes to other fighters. Because it's almost like there's something wrong with Anthony Joshua losing to Alexander Usyk. Like it's something to be ashamed of. But isn't Alexander Usyk the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, according to many? So what's wrong with Anthony Joshua losing to Alexander Usyk? What's wrong with that? Anthony Joshua losing to Alexander Usyk and losing to Andy Ruiz Jr. is far better than Joe Joyce losing to Zhilei Zhang. I like Joe Joyce. You all know that I do. I'm a huge fan of Joe Joyce, I am. But Zhilei Zhang is nowhere near Alexander Usyk or Andy Ruiz Jr. Nowhere near him. Zhilei Zhang lost to Jerry Forrest. Let's have it right. He lost to Jerry Forrest and they screwed Jerry Forrest to a draw. They did. Okay, granted, Zhilei Zhang, he got screwed when he fought Herkovich. Okay. A Herkovich whose father just passed away before the fight, got to Saudi Arabia way too late and was sleeping right up to fight night. But Joe Joyce loses to Zhilei Zhang. Do you see people on TalkSport or any other platform saying how if Joe Joyce loses to Zhilei Zhang, that's it, he's finished, his career over, like they say with Anthony Joshua every time he fights? Are they saying that Joe Joyce has to go in there and send a statement to the boxing world, go in there, dominate and knock out Zhilei Zhang? Are they saying that about Joe Joyce? The way that they say about Anthony Joshua? No. Whenever Tyson Fury fights, did he have to go in there and make a statement against Deontay Wilder on any 3 fights? Did he have to go in there and make a statement against Dillian White or make a statement against Derek Chisora when it looked like he could have been fighting Alexander Usyk? Well, he's going to have to make a statement here. You see, they don't hold the same energy, is my point. It always has to be an expectancy of Anthony Joshua. What's wrong with just winning? What's wrong with that? Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the Dillian White fight. I have no idea. Maybe he's going to go in there, dominate Dillian White and knock him out. Or maybe he's going to get knocked out himself. Maybe. But the point is that the expectancy isn't there. Derek Chisora, who's lost how many times? 155,000 times? Is there any kind of expectancy on him? If he loses, that's it, he's finished. But with Anthony Joshua, you see, he loses a fight, he's finished, it's over, his career over. But is it career over for Joe Joyce? Is it career over for Dillian White? Is it career over for Derek Chisora? Is it career over for Daniel Dubois if he loses to Alexander Usyk the same way it could be career over for Joshua when he lost to Alexander Usyk? Is it the same thing? No, it's not. You're all holding different energies over there at TalkSport. You are. And combined, I have more boxing knowledge than a lot of you combined. I do. I mean, honestly, the amount of schoolboy error mistakes that I see them make is ridiculous. And it's the basics as well. But regardless, you know what, it's entertaining. But the point is, what is the expectancy on Anthony Joshua that you don't have for anybody else? Why is it that this is always Anthony Joshua's last fight? Why is it that Anthony Joshua has to retire but no one else does? Why is it that Anthony Joshua has to put on a performance but no one else does? Why is it that Anthony Joshua has to get a knockout rather than just win like everybody else does? Why? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. It's all about psychology. It's all about confidence going into the Wilder fight. No, it ain't. He's going to be confident going into a Wilder fight anyway. Regardless of if he dominates and knocks out Dillian Whyte or beats him on a split decision. Or they rob Dillian Whyte. Or how. It doesn't matter. Joshua going into the Wilder fight, it's going to be the same result. It's going to be the same fight. Anthony Joshua is going to be the same confidence going into that fight. Because each fight is different. Him going in there and dominating and knocking out Dillian Whyte isn't some kind of extra bonus points that he gets in his arsenal to go in there and throw at Deontay Wilder. It makes zero difference. No difference whatsoever. Look at Tyson Fury before he fought Deontay Wilder the second time. He fought Otto Wallin. Got took to hell in a handbasket. The fight should have been stopped. But did that have any bearing on him going into the Wilder fight for the rematch? No, it had no bearing on it whatsoever. So, anyway, what is it with the expectancy of Anthony Joshua that you don't have for anybody else? For me, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Right? Drop your thoughts below, click on the subscribe. Catch you next video.